Hey everyone, it's Caroline and welcome back to my channel. In this video, I'm going to be helping you guys figure out if you should take a gap year or not. I'm in the middle of a gap year myself right now and it's interesting, I guess. I mean, it's as interesting as it can be right now, so just gotta make the best of it. But I decided to do this video to help any of you guys out if you're struggling to decide whether you should take a gap year or not. I'm going to be going over some things you should ask yourself, and then we're gonna move on to a few examples of what you can fill your gap year up with. Also, I apologize for the lighting. It might be going in and out right now because it's super cloudy out, and this was the only day I could film this video. And with all of that being said, let's get started with the video. One of the first questions you should probably ask yourself is, do I know what I want to do with my life yet? And honestly, the answer is going to be no for most people. I mean, how are you supposed to expect an 18-year-old to know what they want to do for the rest of their life? You can't, but that's just kind of how life works. A lot of people just go into college not knowing what they want to do without taking a gap year, and they just never have that time to really think about what is interesting to them and what kind of passions they have. And even people who think they know what they want to do, they might be having second thoughts. So that could also be an indication that maybe you should take advantage of a gap year. When I was thinking about what I wanted to say in this video, there was one thought in my mind that it sounded so brilliant to me. Like, not to, like I said in my head, and then I'm like, whoa, I might be onto something here. And that rarely happens. So I'm going to make sure that I read it so I don't mess it up. So I wrote this down as something you should remember, and it is, wasting a year not going to college is better than wasting a year at college. Let me say it again. Wasting a year not going to college is better than wasting a year at college. Just let that simmer in your head for a little bit. And honestly, the more you think about it, the more it kind of makes sense. Because say you're taking a gap year and you feel like you're wasting your time not doing anything for that year, that is so much better than paying so much money in college tuition for a year of education that isn't even going to be worth it to you. I mean, yeah, some people just fill up their first year with a bunch of gen eds, and that's okay. But for a lot of majors, you're already going to be taking courses within your first year. Think about all that money you spent when you actually could have been saving money for a year during a gap year, taking that time to kind of reevaluate yourself and just really figuring out what interests you and what's a passion of yours. I really hope this made sense because it made sense in my head, but saying it out loud sometimes doesn't work as well. The next question you should be asking yourself is, do I have a plan when it comes to paying off my college expenses? Yes, there are a lot of options like taking out loans, getting scholarships, things like that, but sometimes that may not be enough. Taking a gap year would allow you to get a job and start saving up a bunch of money, so that way when it comes to the time when you do have to pay off your college tuition, you'll have some money saved up and you'll feel in a better place financially. Another really important thing to ask yourself is, am I mentally burned out to the max? If you feel like high school really took a toll on you, or undergrad, or whatever time it may be that you're thinking of taking a gap year, let's say you're thinking about taking a gap year after high school. My video just stopped recording. Let's say you're thinking of taking a gap year after high school and high school just really burned you out, and the thought of going to college and basically doing the same thing all over again, studying and taking exams, but like much more than you did in high school, then it might be a sign that you really just need to take a break and just figure things out for yourself, because going into college feeling super burnt out and just unmotivated to learn isn't going to help you in the long run. You're going to college to learn for your career, and you really need to be just ready to go for it. And yeah, so if you really feel like you need to take a break, even if it's in the middle of college, whenever it may be, go for it, because who cares if you have to end up graduating a year later than you were supposed to, or even 5 years. Everyone has their own timeline, so you just have to ultimately do what is best for you. All right, so those are all the questions I have that you could ask yourself just right off the bat when you're deciding to take a gap year. Now we're going to move on to if you ultimately decided that you are going to take a gap year. This is something you really need to remember, and that is, do not take a gap year if you don't have any plan whatsoever. You have to have a plan going into your gap year, even if it's just knowing that, oh, I'm going to do at least this one thing during my gap year. At least it's something. At least you're not just going to be sitting at home and watching Netflix all the time. Even though I'm not saying that's a bad thing, because you're taking the time to relax. So definitely do that too if you want to. But you gotta fill up your gap year with some things that'll help you grow and just learn a little bit more about yourself. So a few examples of some things that you could fill up your gap year with would be learning new things, trying a new hobby, working to save money, of course, taking some online courses, looking into internships or any job shadowing opportunities, starting your own business if that's something you're into, and also traveling if possible. Right now, not the best idea, but hopefully in the near future it will be. So those are just a few different things that you could fill up your gap year with if you want to, and obviously there's so many other things, so definitely just take some time to think about different things you could do, and then it could probably just help you make that decision even better if you're still struggling on figuring out whether you want to take the gap year or not. All right, and that is all for this video. I hope you guys enjoyed, and I hope that it helped some of you guys out when it comes to making your decision about whether to take a gap year or not. I know that it could probably be a very difficult decision for some of you, but honestly, just try to weigh out the pros and cons, ask yourself these questions, think about the different things you could be doing on your gap year, and that should help you ultimately decide if it's the best thing for you or not. I'm most likely going to make another video kind of talking about my personal experience with my gap year, and I'll probably do it in the next few weeks or months as my gap year comes to an end. Honestly, I can't wait to go back to school, and I never thought I'd be saying this, but I really do miss being in school, no matter how stressed I was, because trust me, when I'm in school, I'm an absolute mess and I'm stressed to the max. I just do it to myself. So once again, I hope you guys enjoyed, and as always, be sure to like this video if you enjoyed it, subscribe if you're interested in seeing more, and comment down below any questions you guys may have about gap years. I hope you all have a great rest of your week, and I'll see you in my next video. Bye! Just gotta make the best of it. Oh my god. Okay, it's outside. I literally thought there was a wasp in my room. Oh my gosh, it's like getting really dark. Okay. Working to save money, of course. Taking some online courses.
We could be dancing in the stars, we could be floating on away. As long as I'm safely in your arms, and it don't really matter where we stay. 'Cause baby,